July 20th, 2023, a day that will dramatically go down in history. As you were arguing about a country song this way, as you were looking up in the sky and looking down in the ocean with the birds preceding you and the fish preceding you, the financial system completely changed yesterday. So I'm going to present to you facts, figures, numbers, logic. Take none of this as financial advice. Make no financial moves based on what I'm saying. That would be foolish. What I encourage you to do is to do your own research. And when you're looking this way, remember there's another narrative going on this way. So FedNow Services dramatically transformed the financial system yesterday. And there has not been a change in our financial system since 1970s. Here's where the problem lies. Is influencers, creators are out there saying a switch was flipped yesterday and they're going to use this currency and they're going to use this currency. But the fact is there's only like 300 banks using this and there's only 35 banks that are early adopters. So try to pull yourself out of the FUD and become an intelligent investor. Read the book by Benjamin Graham. This is a slow, methodical, drawn out switch in our monetary system. So I'm going to give you a timeline, then I'm going to show you facts, figures, numbers, logic. But I have to send you a quick warning. I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. We do not invest people's money. We do not have an investment platform. In my bio here, we have an education academy. And I'm also a licensed insurance agent. We help people with the infinity banking concept. You can set up a free consultation with my team in my bio. I usually do it on the back end of my video, but I want to do it on the front end because so many people are being scammed by these scammers. Please use discernment. Okay, so in 2009, Bitcoin's inception came. The BRICS countries also came into fruition. Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa, and Saudi Arabia is working to join that, and 19 other countries are working to join. So you have the G20, and you have BRICS. That's a key factor because Bitcoin was created in 2009. That was after one of the biggest financial collapses we had in our history. Now remember, BlackRock was tapped by our Federal Reserve, the largest asset manager in the world, to balance out the markets in 2008, going into 2008. And again, put this down, right? Get a pen and paper. BlackRock was tapped in 2020 to balance out the markets, the largest asset manager in the world. So let's fast forward from 2009 to 2012. In 2012, quite a few things happened. Number one, the Mayan calendar ended. Everybody thought the world was going to end. It was the death of the old, the birth of the new. 2012, Rosie Rios, the 43rd Treasurer of the United States, who signed the last $100 bills, that's her word. She said she was told to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't because Obama's rescue plan turned the printing machine on full blast. And when GDP goes up, gross domestic product, cash and coin usage goes up. So she couldn't reduce it. She said, we need a shock to the system to move consumer behaviors. Key. Also in 2012, preparing for 2023, is they created the OFMOC or FOMC, I have dyslexia, the Future Oversight Committee, which was regulating non-bank financial institutions, i.e. crypto, Venmo, PayPal. Because when there's a liquidity crisis and people start to exit banks, they go to non-bank financial institutions. When they knew this was coming up, the digital age, and people be trying to escape to non-bank financial institutions like cryptocurrency. And remember, in 1970s, they were protecting us from speculators and they detached us from the gold standard. But actually, they didn't have the money or the gold to replace our money. That's why they weren't protecting us. They were detaching us because they didn't have the money. Well, in 2020 to 2023, they're protecting us from speculators, crypto, because they don't have our money. Okay, so from 2012 to 2020, the economy was booming. Low interest rates, money was flowing like water, printing machine, just printing money like crazy. And then we went into 2020 and something happened. The globe got shut down. We had a massive shock to the system, which flipped the way we move money, which flipped the way we travel, which flipped the way we do business, flipped the way we communicate, the way we date, the way we do everything. Remember, Rosie Rios said you need a shock to the system to move consumer behaviors. So from 2020 to 2023, the narrative is cryptocurrency is a fraud. It's rat poisoning. It's used for money laundering, keeping you bound to the traditional system as they switch it to a new system. Now, as we fast forward to 2023, hopefully you're still following along. In 2023, well, let me say this. First, they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. So I told you guys from 2020 to 2022, we were in the resistance, suing, Regulation, now we're in the joining phase. So now we're in 2023, and yesterday was a historical moment. July 20th, 2023, FedNow Services launched, which was a signal that we're going to real-time payments, on-demand liquidity, money moving 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's the signal it gave you. Doesn't mean they're going to use a certain currency and all these XRP and all this stuff is going to go through the roof. Guys, there's only 35 early adopters and 300 banks on FedNow Services right now. But what it does tell us is that our financial system dramatically shifted. And there has not been a change like that since 1970, ironically, when they were protecting us from speculators. Isn't it ironic? So now here we are, the conversations around central bank digital currencies. The money is going digital, guys. It's going programmable money. You're not going to stop that. And the new presidential campaigns are going to be all about keeping us from the centralized system. Guys, we shift this way and we shift that way. And when we get a new president, we hate what they do. When we get a new president, we hate what they do. So for you as an investor, it's time to become an intelligent investor by Benjamin Graham. To understand there's a brand new financial system coming in. That's undeniable. Went from cryptocurrencies of fraud to BlackRock, one of the largest asset managers in the world, submitting a Bitcoin ETF, which all of a sudden got approved to go into for approval. They're tapped by the Federal Reserve to balance out our markets. So when they submit a Bitcoin ETF, it gets approved. And then all of a sudden they accept the other applications. Isn't it ironic? No, it's not ironic, guys. This is nothing new under the sun. And every day I'm like, breaking news. It's always going to be breaking news, guys. It's always going to be something new. Humans are evolving. The financial system is evolving. Everything you're complaining about in the controlled system and the programmable money, you're not going to be talking about it in 10 years. You're going to be using it, and you're not even going to be complaining about it anymore. Just like you complained after September 11th, and you talked about them monitoring you, and you don't even think about it anymore. Just like you were looking at aliens in the sky, and we're not talking about them anymore. Just like we were arguing about Target and all this stuff, and now you're not talking about it anymore. And now you're talking about a country song back and forth. Welcome to the Roman days. You're drunk off the wine, and the Trojan horse has come in. So it's nothing to fear. There's nothing to protest. Do you realize that 99% of our DNA is alike and we're fighting about the 1% that is different? So focus on yourself. Get your own shit together. And as Jesus said, when you get to the end, you'll find out it was in the beginning. And in the beginning is the end. What he's saying there is your decisions, your actions, your behaviors that you do right now, and stop waiting for a savior in November 4th, 2024, that somebody's coming back to save you, and start taking action. And stop being so emotional about everything. Stop letting social media control your emotions left, right, up, down. And make some decisions for your family. Get some principles. Get your shit together. Make good decisions. And pull the log out of your eye before you pull the straw out of another's. All right, so let me show you some facts, figures, numbers, logic. I digress. So if you pause this video, take a look. Guys, there's only 35 early adopters for FedNow Services. So stop being fudded with your influencers like, oh, FedNow Services. It's just a switch in the system to real-time payments. Here's the 35 early adopters. There you go. You got Wells Fargo in there. They're with R3. You got JPM. They got their own cryptocurrency. They got JPM, Onyx. And then I want you to pause. Hopefully you can read that there, guys. This is a couple years ago. They started the Digital Dollar Project. Read this. This is very important. Read this. Very important. And then, guys, there hasn't been a switch in our monetary system, ironically, since 1970 when they were protecting us from speculators. And guess what they're protecting us from the last couple years? Crypto, speculative asset. So I hope this information reaches you well. Remember, this is just my research. Don't make any financial moves based on it. You're already free. You're already healthy. You're already wealthy. Connect your heart and brain coherence. Understand you have free will, that you've already been saved, and you'll be all right. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. Remember, I'll never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. We do not invest people's money. In my bio, there's tons of resources, free resources, or you can join our Education Academy. It is not an investment platform. We do not invest people's money. Never send anybody money pretending to be me. Love you.